Hello Vivites! Until recently, everyone thought royalty was only for the diamond ranks and above. We didn't want the others to miss out, hence we have come up with a new income. We present to you the Junior Royalty Program. The Junior Royalty Program is applicable for distributors ranked from Star 1000 to Sapphire Executive. Junior Royalty is a monthly income and it is exclusively paid to the default co-applicant of the distributor. Eligibility of a distributor for Junior Royalty is connected to the retail business taking place in their organization. To be eligible for the Junior Royalty, a distributor rank from Star 1000 to Sapphire Executive has to ensure minimum average retail of one product in a week from a set of distributors. When we say a month, we consider the number of closings in a calendar month. The number of Fridays in a calendar month will be considered to calculate the number of weeks in a calendar month. Set of distributors required who will generate retail of an average weekly one product or 25 PV retail in a week is 12 distributors in the left and right organizations for a Star 1000, 20 in the left and right organizations for a Ruby Executive, 40 in the left and right organizations for a Pearl Executive, 100 in the left and right organizations for an Emerald Executive, and 200 distributors in the left and right organizations for a Sapphire Executive. It is not mandatory to generate 25 PV volume for all distributors in all the weeks. Instead, averaging will be applicable. Averaging is as follows. In a calendar month of 4 weeks, all the distributors whose volume shall be considered for the Junior Royalty should be a minimum of 100 PV and 125 PV in a calendar month of 5 weeks. Junior Royalty for a Star 1000 shall be 5,000 rupees. Junior Royalty for Ruby, Pearl, Emerald and Sapphire Executive shall be 10,000 rupees, 15,000 rupees, 20,000 rupees and 25,000 rupees respectively. To be eligible for the averaging, a Star 1000 has to maintain a retail volume of the product of 25 PV multiplied with the total number of weeks in the particular calendar month in all the weeks, that is, a total of 100 PV in all the weeks of a calendar month of 4 weeks and 125 PV in all the weeks of a calendar month of 5 weeks in his or her left and right organizations, which has to be generated from one or more distributors whose retail volume shall be considered for his or her Junior Royalty. In the same manner, a Ruby Executive should have a minimum retail volume of 3 multiples of that of Star 1000, and for a Pearl Executive, it will be 5 multiples. For an Emerald Executive, it will be 10 multiples, and for Sapphire Executive, it will be 25 multiples of that of a Star 1000. This means in a calendar month of 4 weeks, a Ruby Executive has to maintain a minimum retail volume of 300 PV in all the weeks, and in a calendar month of 5 weeks, a Ruby Executive should have 375 PV in both organizations. Similarly, a Pearl Executive should have 500 PV and 625 PV. Emerald Executives should have 1000 PV and 1250 PV. Sapphire Executives should have 2500 PV and 3125 PV in all the weeks of a particular month. To earn the Junior Royalty, a distributor has to be active as per the rank activation requirement of the respective rank in all the weeks of the calendar month. FAQs. Will a VOTM activation be considered as retail? No, the activation of VOTM shall not be considered as retail as it is a service to your team. Will PCM activation be considered as retail or reorder? Yes, PCM activation or renewal as a single unit shall be considered as a retail. Though it is 1000 PV, it shall be considered for 100 or 125 as per the number of weeks in the month. Will reorder in the first week of the first order be considered for eligibility? No, reorder in the first week of the first order will not be considered for junior royalty, as the same shall be considered as the first order itself. What if the co-applicant is not as per the default co-applicant policy of the company? The junior royalty will be paid exclusively to the default co-applicant, and if the co-applicant is not as per the default co-applicant policy of the company, the same has to be approved by the company, otherwise it shall not be paid. Are all ranks eligible for the junior royalty program? No, only ranks from star 1000 to Sapphire Executive that meet the specified criteria are eligible to attain the junior royalty program. What if my ID was not active as per the rank qualification? In such a case, you will not be eligible for the junior royalty payment. Why is averaging applied? The vision behind the junior royalty is to ensure a minimum of 25 PV retail by a distributor in all the weeks. The averaging gives an option to do purchase at a time or at multiple times, but not necessarily in all the weeks, and maintain an average weekly retail of 25 PV. The total of the required volume in a calendar month can be generated in a single week or multiple weeks. If I'm generating the total volume required in a month but not maintaining averaging in any of the weeks, will I still be eligible? No, you will not be eligible. The weekly volume requirement has to be met. Assuming I have generated total PV in any single week of the month from the set of distributors, and the remaining weeks I have the required volume from other distributors, will I qualify? No, the weekly required averaging volume has to be generated from one or more of any of the distributors whose volume is considered for the junior royalty. What if my co-applicant's bank details are not updated? Can the reward be transferred to me? The reward cannot be transferred to you. It is transferred only to the co-applicant.